Well, hello. Welcome to another episode of Ask a Photo Pro with me, your friendly neighborhood host. I help photographers just like you transition from your 9 to 5 grind to the life of a working pro. I've been doing that for a long time. I photographed lots of people that you know: Kanye, Pharrell, Daft Punk, Tom York from Radiohead, Colin Firth. Photographed a lot of celebrities, and not paparazzi. I'm not a paparazzi. I'm a session photographer. So what I do here is I help photographers like you transition into the life of a working pro through immersive education. And immersive education is exactly what we're doing today. I'm here to answer your questions today, and we're talking about your pain points. We're talking about often asked questions, things that people know and need to know the answers to continually. So I'm here to answer your questions, and sadly, I have a little mode that I use to pop up your questions and pop up super chats and that kind of stuff, but it broke. It's not working. So I had to message support. I had to message their customer to support and say, hey man, what's going on with your product? It's not working. So I will not be able to pop up your questions today, but I will be able to answer your questions. Everybody who's watching me live, thank you. I'm Carty. You know me, your friendly neighborhood photographer. You're watching me after the fact. Thank you as well. There's nothing better than the replay gang. And I want to hear from the replay gang in comments. Leave comments, leave questions so I can answer them in the comments, or I can actually answer them in upcoming episodes. I love hearing from you. And that's what we're doing today. I want to hear from you. Talk to me in the comments here. Dev says, how do you handle a situation when another photographer enters your background on purpose at a location? Well, now we're fighting. You know what I mean? It just depends on the kind of thing that you're shooting. For me, I have completely stopped sessions because I have a model on set, beautiful hair and makeup, outfit, styling and everything, and someone's across the street shooting with a long lens. And then they call that their work. Do you understand how retarded that is? So if a photographer is trying to get into your background, trying to get into your pictures, confront them. That's what I do. What are you doing? Especially if they're doing it on purpose, just to fuck up your stride. Excuse my language. It's not a thing for me. It's not a thing. I would, it's something you have to address, and you have to ask them, why are they being so low frequency? Seriously, why are you being so low? We're all in this together. We should be helping each other instead of warring against each other. You know what I mean? And again, it's if you're at an event and taking a picture or shooting at an event, now it's a whole other thing. Anybody with a camera can go to an event and they have no concept of ethics or anything like that. They're just there because they have a camera. They're calling themselves a photographer. So if that's the case, it's you need to put yourself in higher frequency situations so you're not in a scenario where you're taking pictures. Whenever you're in a situation where you're taking pictures, situations like this where people are in your background, entering into your location on purpose, yeah, that's a confrontation, sadly to say. So, hey, Mikey, I'm glad you're here live. Vicky, welcome. Calligraphy, welcome. Glad you're here. Durell, glad you're here. And Yes Man, the one they call Stephen C here. Chess Optics in the house. Thank you guys. Glad you guys are here. So understand that this is a whole appreciation vibe. I'm trying to give you guys back some love, which I think from time to time we all need. We all need some love and attention. So I'm giving you guys back some love and attention today. Do ask me any question. I'm going to be here for a good 45 minutes to answer anything that you might have for me. And if you're in chat, I can answer it live, which is kind of the whole reason that you watch these live streams, is for me to be able to serve you and for me to be able to answer the most pressing questions that you have. Let's go, Rachel Running. Rachel Running, hello from a Trini on the border. I'm very glad to have you as part of this Carty crew. So what to do with all the storage apps, iCloud, Google Photo, Dropbox, HD. How do you manage your data? Like, first of all, sign up for Indie. Indie's a quick way for you to eliminate the Google Photos vibe and be able to communicate directly with your clients behind a password protected paywall. I've been using Indie to share photos now with clients. Go to the video description. There's like, Indie's my new sponsor. It's like a good alternative, so you don't have to have such a massive a massive Google Drive. I pay for 2 terabytes of Google Drive, so I have to clean up my Google Drive and get a bunch of stuff off of it. It's beneficial to have stuff in the cloud. You have to use a 3-2-1 backup system, which is 3 copies of everything, 2 different locations, 1 off-site. So that's like, an off-site can be in the cloud. You know what I mean? So you do need to have cloud storage. But just like you're saying, iCloud, Google Photos, Dropbox, I have, and hard drives. I'm using all of those. I'm using iCloud, Google Photo, or Google Drive, Dropbox. Dropbox I don't pay for, I just have a basic. And hard drives, I'm about to build a RAID array, which is going to be a massive 4 hard drive system that, like, it's just basically redundancy. So if one hard drive fails, your data gets rebuilt. Like, it's a RAID array. That's something that I'm about to build just because I've had one before. It became sort of like, how can you say, the company went out of business. So like, I have to like migrate my stuff off of Drobos and onto a new system. So let's go, Nat. Glad you're here. Okie Mitchell, glad you're here. I'm glad you're able to join a live as well. Okie Mitchell says, I'm so glad to be able to join a live. And if you have good eyes, you're able to see the chat happening along the bottom. It does disappear after like 30 seconds or so. But that is, and also if you're watching after the fact, you can follow along with the live chat super easily. What I'd like to do in the meantime, while I'm waiting for your questions, is get into a little bit of what we like to call this week's inspiration. And I'm going to show you how I find inspiration. I go to a website, it's called Behance. And on Behance, you create a Behance account. Behance is owned by Adobe. So you can see the beautiful Adobe logo here. You create an account for free and you make a profile. And basically, this is my portfolio, but it's not my website. It is an exact representation of everything that's on my portfolio is on Behance. But the thing that's amazing is Behance is free. They're obviously now starting a pro version. Not sure why it's taking so long to load right now. I have so many more pictures than that's on this row. But for some reason, it's taking a good long time. But Behance is connected to Adobe Portfolio, and this is my portfolio, which is built with Adobe Portfolio. Let's go back here to see if the rest of my shot. I do not know why this is taking forever to load, but let me show you how I discover amazing work and amazing photographers. This is the homepage. And you go here under Explore, Best of Behance Photography. And this is someplace that I come all the time. And this is basically all Behance award-winning photography. And you can just find photography from within your niche. So if you're a car photographer, look at this car photography. Like, just insane. I'm going to hide my camera for more impact. Incredible car photography. You're from Bisbee, Arizona. Let's go. Doug Stanhope's in Bisbee. Let's go. I'm a comedy fan, so that's how I know. Let's go, Julia Long. Welcome. Glad you're here. So look at this car photography. Just insane. So this is where I go for inspiration when it comes to where I'm looking to find the best of. It's never Instagram. It's never Instagram, where as far as where I'm going. And look at how big and beautiful these photos are. So you have to have your own Behance profile. And this is Brandon Lim, who is a car photographer, like a car photographer in the truest sense of the word. Like when you look at his portfolio, you see nothing but cars. Well, basically transportation. Transportation is more like, he's widened from it just being cars for him shooting motorcycles and planes and trucks and race cars. And if you look at Brandon Lim's website, look at this website. Let me hide my camera for full effect. Look at this beautiful website of super high-end car photography. And airplanes. Very interesting layout style. But this is his portfolio. This is Brandon Lim. So, and you're found. Let's go, Henry. Glad you're here, buddy. Stuart Fleck. Glad you're here. So how many photos do I recommend having on your portfolio? This is Oki Mitchell asking me a question. How many photos do I recommend having in your portfolio when you're just starting your site? 30? Like 30 undeniable photos is better than 100 average photos of everything that you've ever shot. You know, 30 targeted towards your specific niche is what you do. Like that's, let's go, game on. Game on with Tony. Yeah, like, I mean, your portfolio, if you look at my website, this is my main book and all the categories that I have. Like, I've been doing this for a minute. So I have categories. So you can go back even and look at old work that I shot years ago, you know? So I have an archive, but when you look at my main portfolio, my portfolio runs deep, but what I'm showing is a blend of studio and location work, as well as natural light and artificial light, all mixed together in the same portfolio, all shot in my style, as well as photographs at night. So I'm showing the range of my technical ability in my portfolio. This is a natural light portrait. This is a natural light portrait. So I'm also showing jobs. I'm also showing lookbooks. I'm also showing supermodels and TV people and models and campaigns. So, but the location work and the natural light work that I show on my portfolio is super critical to show, like, the same photographer that shoots this band is the photographer who's shooting this model, who's shooting this male model, and this lovely blind lady in the forest. So I'm showing range in my portfolio, and it's important for you to show range, but range, you don't have range when you're new. So what you need to show is technical perfection and style, you know? So, yeah, I mean, it's funny. You're talking about, all over the place. Well, just look at what you've chosen for your screen name, my friend. You're manifesting it by calling yourself all over the place. Be your name. Don't be all over the place. Be focused. It's just all you have to do is just be focused. When you're focused, you're not all over the place. You're actually focused, you know? I really don't know why my particular Behance profile is taking so long to load past like 1 row, 2 rows, because I have tons of stuff on Behance. I've been on Behance since the beginning. But maybe that's why. Maybe it's caching. So maybe I will delete the cache. And by the way, you're using Affinity Photo 2. I don't know anything about that. The industry standard is Photoshop, Lightroom, Creative Cloud. It's industry standard for a reason. Everybody uses it. If you're using a system that isn't industry standard, then it becomes like now you're dealing with manage with, sorry, 1 second here. If you're now not using stuff that's industry standard, now you're having to, like, Affinity, I can't help you. I don't know anybody who can help you with Affinity. I mean, I'm sure there's people who use it, but I don't know, like I don't get it. Affinity Photo 2. I don't even know what it is. I don't know if it's a plugin. I don't know if it's instead of Photoshop. I don't know what it is. And like, I shoot photos that look amazing in camera. You know what I mean? King Adventures, you put the exclamation mark before the question, not after. If you want to ask a question, you put the exclamation mark before the question. But because I'm reading chat, you can go ahead and ask me. It's command question or command Q. King Adventures standing by. Yeah, it's very, oh, here it is. Here's the rest of my profile. Finally, it's loading. So I have tons of stuff on Behance, tons. And it goes and 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 goes. So Behance has been where, I mean, Coco Rocha, Eddie Griffin, band stuff, musicians, Chris Bosch and Bounty Killer and Beanie Man, and like everything that's on my portfolio is here on my Behance. Everything that's on my portfolio is on my Behance profile. So that's how, like, they sync. It's beautiful. They sync up. So you can show work on both profiles. What's VC, Tony? I mean, Scott. It's a Photoshop alternative. Exactly. It's an alternative to using the thing that everybody uses. It's like, why would you want an alternative? Why would you not use this industry standard? Yeah, this is just some work from days gone by. Streetwear. Yeah, and if you're not using Behance to really showcase your portfolio, like Behance, it's like a place where people can really see what you can do. And I use Behance like a weapon. I use it for personal work. Vince Carter, I've never photographed. And I'm definitely not going to know what you're talking about if you say any VC. That could mean anything. Be hyper specific. If I had photos of Vince Carter, I'd show them. I haven't photographed Vince Carter, so I don't show them. You're asking me, like, you can run through a list of people who I haven't photographed and say, have you shot this person? Have you shot that person? And then, come on. And you can give me initials of all these people, and then you're just going to irritate me. VC is not a thing. Venture capital is what VC means. It definitely is not the short form for Vince Carter. I'll tell you that for sure. So, and no, I didn't shoot Vince Carter. I haven't. Yeah, again, Scott, I don't follow sports. I'm going to say that again. I don't follow sports. I don't have time. I'm a freelancer. I'm building businesses. I have 6 businesses. I don't have time. So I don't know anything that's happening on TV. I don't know anything. And I see you're talking about telecasts and Charles Barkley and make it, dude, it's a photography show. Talk about something that's not sports related. Cool. Anyways, dude, sorry, Scott. You're distracting me talking about Game 7 and sports and all that stuff in my chat. This is not a sports show. This is a photography show. We're talking about photography. We're talking about pain points. I don't care it's the playoffs because, again, I don't watch sports. It's like something, I'll go to a game when I get free tickets, but it's like, it's not moving the needle forward. It's not moving your business. Like, knowing all of the stuff that you know and all these shows that you, why do you know that stuff? Why? You should be spending time working on being a better photographer. Spend time on lighting. That's what I do. You know what I mean? Don't talk to me about anything here on this channel except for photography, please. Yes, question. Who has a question? Vicky. Do I have a dream photo shoot that I love to capture? It's weird. Like, I don't have those kinds of like aspirations for, oh, if I could only photograph this person, or if I only photograph this person. Like, I don't have aspirations that way. And the reason is because I'm not a status hunter and I'm not starstruck. Everybody is a star to me. So the photo shoot that I'm most excited about is the next one that I'm doing, always. And it doesn't matter if it's Colin Firth or Pharrell or you. Like, it doesn't matter. So I don't have really a dream photo shoot. Like, the fact that I make a living with my camera is a dream already. The fact that I don't compromise, the fact that I shoot people in my style, and the right people who need my photographs find me, that next person who finds me, that's my dream photo shoot. I don't play favorites. Everybody's a star to me. And that's why I shoot so many celebrities, because I don't give a fuck. Sorry, excuse my language. I'm going to get demonetized with all these F-bombs. Apologize out there, my friends. So, yeah, honestly, Vicky, like, I don't strive that way, because then you're ranking jobs like, oh, it's not that. I mean, I want to shoot for Vogue. I've shot for Vogue though already. I've been published in Vogue. So it's like, well, I wanted to be published in Vogue since I was 17. The first time I saw Vogue, I got published in Vogue when I was 50. Took me a long time, but it's like, still want to get published in Vogue more. You know what I mean? It's like, I just want my work out there. That's it. I just want the right people to hire me. And I want to this is an experience for me. Like, the photography is a result of an experience. And I don't close my mind to any certain experiences. I want all the experiences, you know? I don't like, if you call me for headshots, that's the most important shoot in my world, because that's the next one that I'm doing. Honestly, whether I'm getting paid $40,000 or $400, you know, I can't charge someone $40,000 for headshots, even if it's the same photographer. But yeah, I don't play favorites. I think it's important not to, you know? I think it's important to not play favorites. I think it's important to just, every photo shoot is the best photo shoot ever. It's the most important one. I treat every single one that way. So, dude, Tony says, thanks for encouraging me to take photos. I've built the confidence to ask friends and associates to take photos of them for practice and skill development. It's super necessary, man. Super necessary. What's my follow-up once people ghost me on prices? Two things. Number one, higher frequency people. Number two, higher frequency work. Simple. Higher frequency people, higher frequency work. And here's another thing. Are you not watching my episodes? Are you not watching my episodes? Sunday I said this. Work for companies, not people. Work for companies, not people. Because see, when you work for companies needs ideas executed. Companies need ideas executed, and they have budgets to pay creators to execute ideas. People have egos. So a person just has an ego to fill. So they want photos from you to fill an ego, not to fill a need, because they don't have a business. They don't have a company. All they have, some people, is boobs and an ass. So therefore they want photos because they think they're so fine. But then when you say it costs $500, vanish, because it's a person. They're like, that's my whole check. It's because you're hanging out with low frequency people.
Yes or yes?
Low frequency people. I hang out with high frequency people. And if someone calls me for headshots, they know that it costs $500 for an hour with me, and they pay it because it's me. And I create a high frequency situation which attracts high frequency people. And they don't even ask me how much. They just say, I want headshots. And I'm like, it's $500. They're like, yeah, of course, whatever. It's a different kind of a person. You know what I mean? When you're making photos of people that are serving their ego, price is always going to be a factor. When you're working for a business that has a budget and an agenda that needs an execution, an idea to sell their product, there's no limit how much money they'll pay. And that's why, and when I say I get $5K a day plus expenses, it's because I work for companies. I don't get that when I work for people. But when I work for people, if I'm working for a person for a day, they're paying me $1,500, or they're not the kind of person that I work for. So that was secret number one. Watch Sunday's episode. Secret number two, work for rich people. Work for rich people. So when you say your rate, they're not, oh my God, what? $200? Make more money if you want photography. If you want my photography, you better make money. Seriously, I'm not cheap. And like, when you move like that, but see, this is the problem. This is the problem. People get so tired of people running away when you say your prices, they just start lowering their prices. So they're racing to the bottom rather than changing the people that you're surrounding yourself with. All your people are broke, bro. All your people are broke. The people who follow you are broke, and the people you're following are broke. Follow rich people. Follow businesses and figure out how to execute ideas for people, and that will make you valuable. What's next? When you say things like true, I know it's true, Dev 3. I know it's true. I have truth tattooed right here as one of my many totems. Tattoo truth. This is all I speak here, my guy. And I don't even need to know, I don't even need you to tell me that it's true. Because truth just stands there. I'm just shining a light on it. That's all. I'm not trying to pull it to my direction. I'm just telling you what it is. And again, like, I'm only attracted to certain kinds of jobs because they're high frequency. I'm not attracted to certain kinds. This is why I don't take pictures. I make pictures. Anybody can take a picture. Only like someone who has an idea, someone who's like a skilled creative can execute an idea. Like, you're like, oh, I have an idea for a CD cover. Like Carty comes to me and he's like, Carty, I shot his first CD with the match in his mouth 20 years ago. Like, and if we do a search, Cardinal Quest for Fire. So if we look and search Cardinal Quest for Fire, I shot this album literally 22 years ago. I shot this album, okay? And Cardinal asked me to photograph him again for the 20th year anniversary of the release of this album. So this is our second, I photographed Carty 20 times in 20 years, but this is the reshoot of the album. The 20 years later, we did a white on white, and this is it as a billboard in our Times Square here in Toronto, which is called Dundas Square. So, yeah. You're curious about my most recent published work. My most recent published work is not on my website yet, but you can, like, the Porter artwork. Why are you asking? Why are you questioning my authority? I shot this for the Porter. This was on CBC and BET Plus. This is television artwork for promoting a television series. I shoot magazine stuff, bro, for magazines that you haven't heard of. And unless you're in my city, like, yeah, my recent published work, bro, I do stuff all the time, but at the same point, right now, I only have to do a certain amount of jobs per year. You know what I mean? Like, and magazines don't pay the kind of money that advertising pays. So I'm not trying to shoot for magazines. I shoot for magazines that call me. You know what I mean? So it's just, this is stuff I did for CBC. And this is on the side of the building in CBC still to this day. I shot this a couple years ago. So I have published work all over the place, and also like online. Like that's the thing. Like, what's that website? Here it is, Shirt Fit. I do like this. Like, this is all my work, bro. All of this, and you've seen this on my portfolio. Like, this is the thing. Like, published work, bro. This is where my work exists. Is on the internet. Like, it's everywhere. I've been shooting for this brand for 10 plus years. So this is just all my stuff going back like easily 10 years. This stuff at the bottom here is 10 years old. Like, easily I shot this 10 years ago. And this stuff up here, I shot this 2 years ago. So most of my stuff exists on the internet. I get hired to shoot lookbooks and ads and shit like that. So yeah, it's just it's kind of how it goes, my friend. You know, and if you go to my website and look at my work session, you'll see like my commercial work. Like, I put my stuff up here. Like, this I shot this last year. This is their lookbook. So I'm very good at keeping up, like, with the work that I share and where it goes, you know? So, but again, so much stuff that I do, you don't see it unless I show it in a portfolio way like this, you know? Because, yeah, like the blind girl that I shot, this is the image that they ended up using. Her sitting on the rock. I used a picture of her walking through the forest. But this is just lifestyle stuff that I've shot for them. Yeah, work. I try to be pretty transparent as far as my stuff and what I shoot and where I show it. But yeah, it's, understand that, like, I did a job last year that made it so I didn't have to work for 6 months. So that job that I did last year, that the invoice was like $50,000. It made it so I could just focus on building this that I'm building right now. And that you're seeing, like, this whole growth with my channel all came around the same time last year that I did this job. So I've had the freedom to be able to just build out this whole education system, you know? Yeah, it's kind of nice. And I still shoot. I still do jobs all the time. I book a couple days off for myself every week so I can do jobs and shoot, you know? But I'm in a very unique position, and a position that I've always needed to be in, and I never was in before, where I don't have to shoot for money anymore. I mean, I do. I love it, but I'm in a position now because of what I've built and because of what I'm doing. I don't have to shoot for money. I could shoot for free if I felt like it, or I could just hand select the jobs that I want to do, and I can say no to a lot of stuff. And that's what I do. And it's funny, when I was 19, when I was in Ryerson in photography school, there's a photographer. His name is Javier Vollenrat, and I'm going to show you. um, I'm going to show you this photographer. When I was in first year, I saw this photographer and he lectured at my school. Okay. This photographer lectured at my school when, oh, Scott, you're fine, dude. Don't worry about it. You're fine. I don't get in a bad mood. It's all right. I'm already over it. So, this photographer, Javier Vollenrat, lectured at Ryerson when I was, look how old he is, bro. He was in his 30s when he was making work that looked like this. And he was making work that looked like this. Like you can see he shoots for Chloe, and like he's just a massive fashion photographer, like just insane. Javier Vollenrat. Okay. And I had a book, and this was the cover of the book, and it was called The Art of Fashion Photography. And Javier Vollenrat came to Ryerson and lectured. And this guy, and so somebody asked the question, like, how much do you work? You know, how much do you work? And he said this, and I never forget this quote. He said, I take 4 commercial jobs and 10 editorial jobs per year. And the person's like, pardon me, what do you mean you take? He's like, I accept 4 commercial jobs and 10 magazine editorials per year. And I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that like he turned away work. He just, no, like, and it's like one day I'll get to the point where I can say no to stuff. And I mean, I've been at that point for years, like that I could say no to stuff, but to the point where I can say no to editorial jobs, I can say no to commercial jobs. It's a nice, because now I shoot the stuff that I want to shoot, like that I'm really into and really committed. So yeah. Anyways, and Scott, honestly, I don't hold grudges, bro. I'm like water. That's ages ago already. I'm not even thinking about it. So did I miss any questions though? That's my question. Did I miss any questions? So yeah, listen, Walt, you get to the point when you say you're able to say no to stuff when you're undeniable. You know, if you look at Javier Vollenrat's work, he's undeniable, bro. Like undeniable Vogue photographer, man. Like, are you kidding me? Like undeniable. Like that's all you have to be, is undeniable. The thing is though, is photographers have the biggest egos in the universe, man. Honestly, photographers think they're so good. And I actually had somebody in chat like talk about how, like, I mean, it's the very same question that you asked me about, like what happens when people run away when you tell them your prices. And I'm like, you're not good enough. You know what I mean? It's just, sorry, you're not good enough. People don't run away when I tell them my prices. They don't run away, you know? So once you make work that's undeniable, it has value. And if you obsess about just being undeniable, and being authentic, this is another thing that you notice about me. I'm me. I'm not trying to be anybody else. I'm just authentic and genuine. And I'll say it again. I'm a photographer first. I do this because like I'm basically on a bit of a hiatus. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like, I decided I wanted to build this thing, so I'm building it, you know? And I'm selective. I'm selective. I say no, and too many people will go to the opening of a door to take photos. You know, it's like too many people are going. If you're taking a photo and there's somebody near you also taking a photo, that is no longer a valuable photo, because you're taking something that anyone else can just take. When you make something, when you have an idea and an execution, you can do that in your room. You can do that in your house. You can do that on a walk. Nobody can take that execution from you, because no one can think of it, because it's your idea. People pay for ideas. Ideas make the world go round. Literally, ideas, it's the whole point. It's art and commerce. Like, where art and commerce intersect is when you can take an idea and turn that idea into an execution. Oh, I have an idea. A match in my mouth. We're going to recreate a photo that we did 20 years ago, but we're going to do it in a new modern way. Hey, cool. Still white, still match, still white studio, still white kicks. Like, we imitated so many things, and I could have literally made the exact same photo that I did 20 years ago, but we did something different. We did something a bit more modern. Changed the outfit a little bit, you know? So how you achieve this whole thing is by having standards that are the highest in the room. Let's go, GJ. Those are hard letters to say together. Those are hard. So I'm missing IB. You're saying what's not necessarily true. Fill me in. And Henry says I missed his question, dude. So Henry, I'm scrolling and looking to see if I can find your question. And again, there's lots of people in chat. I've gone way up there. So let me see if I can see missed my cue, but I don't see it. Henry, literally, I see your name and I say you missed my question, and then I'm scrolling. I don't see your question. So here's something you can do for me. Type it again in chat, so I'm not scrolling here like a stupid person. Do I shoot fireworks over the weekend? Why would I ever do that? Why would I ever do that? That's taking pictures, bro. Do I shoot fireworks? Do I shoot sunsets, fireworks, snowflakes, pretty lights? No, bro. I don't do any of that shit. I'm a photographer. I don't like take pictures of fireworks just because they're happening. Honestly, why would I do that? I just showed you my portfolio. Where does fireworks fit into this business? GJ? Where does fireworks fit into what I do for a living? How is fireworks something that would move my needle at all if this is the type of photography that I do? Answer, no. No, that's taking photos. And I just said I don't take photos. I make photos, which means I don't take photos of things that are happening. I execute ideas. It's like you're not even listening. Anyways, so no worries. No, like light painting, that is a different thing. And no, I don't do that because I do that with like, again, no, I think you're missing. I don't align fireworks with light painting or anything like that. No, dude, that's not what I do. That's not what I do. I don't attach my photography to an event at all. Like, oh, there's things like that are bursting in the sky. Let's do light painting. For who? For who? For my daughter? You know what I mean? She doesn't pay me to do that. It's like, I mean, it would be a fun exercise to do for students or something like that. But no interest in doing that kind of stuff, my guy. Sorry. Sorry. Did I take pictures of fireworks? Bro, in my 20s, I wasn't interested in that. You know what I mean? It's like you take pictures of fireworks, you learn how to shoot slow shutter speed, you learn how to do 1 minute exposures, you learn how to do 30-second exposures, and then you move on. You move on to something harder, which is executing ideas for people. Seriously. No, like it's not. I'm not trying to do, listen.
Question?
I'm not trying to listen. Do not mistake me at all for what I'm doing here. I'm saying you can take photos, but people who watch me are trying to make a living at this. They're trying to make a living at this, okay? So if you're trying to do this for a hobby, take all the fireworks and flower and pretty photos that you want to take. I'm not trying to discourage people from photography. Don't put words in my mouth. It's not what I'm saying. But if you're trying to be a pro photographer, and if after I've showed what I do, I'm showing what I do. I'm saying this is my portfolio. And where does fireworks fit into here? It doesn't fit. I don't do that. I shoot people. I'm an editorial photographer. Watch my podcast. Are you taking pictures or are you making pictures? I'm not for everybody, IB. I'm not for everybody. I'm for people who are obsessed about trying to turn the whole act of photography into their full-time job. That's it. That's the content that I make. Yes, if you're watching me because you want validation about taking photo, dude, we all take photos. I'm not discouraging people from taking photos, but if you're taking photos and you're trying to be a photographer, it's not going to happen. If you don't have a feedback loop of like a pro who's helping you, it's not going to happen. And if you get hurt feelings like you are when I tell you the truth, again, it's not going to happen. So I'll say I'm not for everybody. It's okay. I'm not trying to discourage anybody from photography. If you can do this for hobby, amazing. But people who watch me, there's nobody else who can help them become professionals the way that I am. So I focus all my energy on helping them. I'm way too intense for someone who just likes photography and does this for fun. Seriously, they'll watch me, they'll see that my concepts and stuff are over their head, and they'll just go watch someone else, which is totally fine. I do it on purpose. I'm only trying to find the most serious people who are actually obsessed about becoming a professional photographer. That's it. That's what my content's for. Literally, I say it right there on my header. I'm helping struggling and emerging pro photographers shift their mind through immersive education. I say it. It says nothing about I'm helping beginners get better at photography. It doesn't say that because that's not who I'm aiming. That's not who I'm targeting. And that's not who I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help people who are past beginner. Watch Peter McKinnon if you're a beginner. It's totally cool. You know what I mean? He'll help you. He's got 5.9 million people watching. You know what I mean? Manuel's like, can we get back on track? Yes, listen, ask me questions and not start knocking down what I'm trying to do here, and I'll be totally happy. I mean, I could have just talked at you guys today. I could have just given you notes like I always do, but I wanted to hang out, interact with you, and figure out what's going on. You know what I mean? And also, you're learning. I mean, look what Mike's saying. You're learning more about me, eh? And you're learning that I have regulars here who are so dedicated to the things that I say, and they're saying, yo, you're pissing them off and you're derailing the content here. You're derailing the content by asking why I'm discouraging people from taking photos. It's okay. It's okay. Again, every once in a while, I have to remind people what I'm here for. I'm here to help emerging and struggling pros get to the emerging pro, meaning about to be a pro, and people who are pros already but they're underutilized. They're not making the amount of money that they should be making. And people who have set their mind and set their life up to be professional photographers, or people who are trying to have a career shift, people who are trying to do a side hustle, people who are trying to make money at this. That's who I help. So it's like, if you're not trying to make money at this, if it's just a hobby, I might be too intense, which is okay. Walt. So how can I come in loaded with the team leads from a hockey team if they want to negotiate on deliverables or the price of the game? So you have to form that question a little bit. How can I come in loaded with the team leads from the hockey team? That part is, that sentence doesn't make sense if they want to negotiate on the deliverables and the price of the games. So I'm trying to understand that question. Basically, if you're negotiating with the team, what I would be thinking, is it men's league where each team is its own thing? Should you be negotiating with the league and negotiate something with the league where you're shooting all of the teams for a certain price, or are you just going to shoot one team, which seems like you're kind of limiting yourself. But what I would do if I was trying to shoot hockey or shoot sports or shoot athletes is I would negotiate with the league, where you go in one day a week and you shoot the prime game, and you also shoot portraits of the players. So they have portraits, like hockey card style portraits of the players. That's what I would do. I would go to the league first, but if you're negotiating with the players, it goes back to dealing with individuals rather than dealing with a company. An individual is not going to have the same budget that a company is going to have. A company, like the league, has a budget. So there'll be a budget to possibly pay for a photographer. If you're just dealing with the team as an individual, they might not have the money. So that would be my take for you, my friend Walt. Listen, I'm not trying to make you feel like a pariah, LB. I'm not trying to. If I'm missing what you're saying, please clarify. If I'm missing what you're saying, please clarify. Please understand this isn't a telephone conversation. I'm reading what you're saying in chat, so there's no tone, there's no context, and I'm also trying to read what 60 people are saying in chat at the same time. So again, you're saying I'm misconstruing what you're saying. I'm just reading what you're saying. And I'm not trying to discourage anybody. This is a happy-go-lucky, beneficial place. But at the same point, I'm a person. I'm not just like some guy on YouTube. I have feelings, and I also you know what I mean? I know I'm so targeted with what I do on this channel. I state it. All of my content is geared towards one specific thing. So, how could I in a million years be discouraging somebody? You know, I'm trying to encourage everybody. The hard thing is what I get is comments like constantly people just. I mean, my suggestion, make your own YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Try to grow your own audience. Try to do something positive on YouTube and see how people are quickly to do that to you. And it doesn't feel nice. So that's just, what you're getting and what you're feeling back. Question, calligraphy, my guy. So Walt is saying, how can I come loaded? It's just one D1 college team that reached out to you to shoot their home games. So loaded and ready to negotiate. First of all, I talk about that, and I've talked about that in a couple of, there's one that's called Find Clients. I don't know if you've watched that episode, but you have to ask questions. You have to ask key questions if you watch this episode with your specific situation, the questions is, where will they be using the photographs? That's a big question. Is it just for social media, or are they making a website or something like that for the team? Are they trying to use your photos to get sponsors? A team sponsor? What will the photos be used for? Are they going to be used in print, or is it just going to be online? And how long and how often do they need you? Are they willing to pay a monthly fee? Try to get on retainer. If you're shooting once a week for this D1 team, my goal would be to make $250 every time you pick up your camera. If you're a newer shooter, $250. So imagine if you went and shot for them 4 times a month, that's $1,000. Can they commit to $1,000 a month to pay you? And if they can't, now it starts to be how often are you going to shoot for them? Once a month then? bi-weekly, like what do they need from you and what's their budget? Like those are the questions that you have to that's the question that you have to ask, I think. You gave them a price of 400 per home game and then future shoots. 400 per home game is a good rate, bro. That's a good rate. How many home games a month are they doing? How many home games a month? That's a good rate. And again, do you feel like you can deliver $400 product for an hour? Do you feel like you're at that level? Because I haven't seen your photographs, Walt, so I want to make sure that you're delivering like Sports Illustrated level photography if you're doing this for a team. And what's the rinks like? Are the rinks high end or are the rinks kind of, you know what I mean? If it's college D1 level, it's not going to be, they're not playing in stadiums, you know what I mean? So they're not going to be well lit. So you have to figure out like how you're going to shoot this and make it look like insane. You know what I mean? Make it look like it's worth $1,600 a month to them to have your photography. And then my suggestion also would be set up a studio at the rink and shoot portraits of people against a gray background in their uniforms. Shoot portraits of everybody, like hockey pictures, but not on the ice with the stick, the traditional cheesy pictures. Do it like a studio shot. I think it would be cool. I hope that helps. So Monica says a local asked you to photograph a product the size of a large shed. Jeez, where can I get reference for charging a fair price? You're thinking of per look structure. That's smart. That's very smart, Monica. So a shed. Here's what you do. You ask questions. Number one, how many images? How many finals that do they need? Just start with questions. How many finals? Are you shooting this on location, meaning outside in a backyard, or are you shooting this in the studio? Another fair question. The third question, what's it for? Is it for online, point of sale, which I would imagine you'd want it shot on white and maybe on location? Maybe they want it both. How long do they want to use it for? Is it a year and then they're going to make a new one next year and the design changes so it's not going to be relevant? Or is this a design that they're going to be using for the next 5 years or 10 years? So they want like longer than 5-year usage on the photo. So those are the kind of questions that I'd be asking. And for me, whether I'm shooting a portrait of one person or, you know, I'm shooting like the Great Canadian Baking Show where I'm shooting like 16 people all in one photo. Like, it's all about the ask and where it's going. And is it on location or is it in the studio? And what are the logistics for you? Do you have the skills to shoot a shed? Can you do it? Can you get the right depth of field so the front corner and the back corner is right? Are you going to be able to get all the angles? Is it going to look like it's proportioned? Are you shooting with a 50 millimeter lens so it doesn't look oversized? And then when the person sees it, the sizing doesn't look right. Like, you have to shoot this with the normal lens so it looks normal. Also, your lines converge when you shoot with a wide lens. So there's all these things to consider, like your technical ability shooting it. But if you're confident with all of that stuff, then kill it. And again, where do you go for references? You ask those questions. And after you've asked those questions, then you ask the magic words. You say, what's your budget? What's your budget? For me to shoot a shed, I'm not a shed shooter, but for me to shoot a shed on location, I would charge for 3 final photos, including usage, would work out to be about $3,000 probably. You know, and it's mostly usage because shooting it is basically simple. And the post-production is basically simple, but where they get hit is the usage fee based on where it's going to be used. And if it's going to be print or if it's going to be online, is it going to be point of sale? Is it going to be on the website? Those are the questions that you have to ask. So yeah, the more that you can give me those answers, yeah. No, LB, IB, I'm sorry. I got you. I love you. Everything's beautiful. Don't worry. Like, I'm glad you actually shot what could be your first video today. Like, put out content, dude. It's okay to be outspoken and like have an opinion. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. And again, for me, like, I'm a person just like you. We all have opinions. It's harder to communicate live than you think. Like, if I could just have you all on a Zoom chat, it'd be awesome. Like I do with my masterclass. Everybody's on a Zoom. It's amazing. But yeah, and then people just put their hand up and I unmute them and they chat. So, and yeah, normal lens, I mean a 50 millimeter on a full frame sensor, or closer to like a 35 millimeter on an APS-C. Yeah, like the human eye, if we really want to split hairs, the human eye sees at a perspective of 42 millimeters. 42. It isn't 50. It's not 50. It's 42. That's our perspective. So if you really want to split hairs and have a normal lens, be looking for a 40 millimeter lens instead of a 50, or a 40 equivalent. Yeah. So, and again, there's just profile correction. Casper's very, very true on that. So, who you submit this is Steven ST3. Who do I submit an inquiry to if you think a company may need headshots? So for instance, the crazy headshots that Walgreens pharmacy has in stores. So if that's actually who you're going for, Walgreens, like, that's just so corporate. It's going to take you a while to get, I mean, it might not. My suggestion, smaller companies are more nimble and they're able to make those decisions, so they happen. And how you do it, like you were in a Walgreens, you saw a bad photo, a bad headshot. You're like, ooh, I could do better than that. But then you looked and you're in Walgreens and you're like, who do I talk to even deal with this? What you're learning, it's beautiful actually. And give yourself a pat on the back, Steven. What you're learning is how to read the market. And it's the first little glimpses of reading the market and seeing bad photography and seeing how you could make it better. So you're doing it like in a place where it's too hard to find who that person is that you need to talk to fix that headshot. So what you do is you go on LinkedIn for your local area and start looking at businesses and start looking at businesses' business profiles on LinkedIn, and you'll see bad headshots. You'll see a bunch of bad headshots, but they're attached to a person with a name and a contact. And you can just push connect and then send them a message and be like, hey, couldn't help but noticing that headshot. I actually stopped because your headshot was so bad. Could you literally let me help you? Please let me help you with your headshot. It's horrible. I mean, even if you don't call me to fix it, fix your headshot by somebody. Oh my God, it's so bad. Bye. Like literally give some people some of those and you'll get responses back. And they'll be like, you're right. My headshot is bad. What can we do? How much does it cost to fix it? And then now you have a bunch of people who want you to do headshots for them. And then you impress a couple of them, you get them to write a testimonial for you saying, oh my God, shooting with Steven was like the best thing ever. He did the best headshot. He was amazing, amazing photographer, amazing experience, amazing results. And like you get a couple of testimonials like that on Google that you can now screenshot and put on your website. Now you become the premier headshot photographer in your area just because you understand how to read the market. And you can do it all through looking at on LinkedIn, finding the people, finding the link to their professional websites, looking at their websites, seeing how they're horrible, seeing how the interior shots for their business are horrible, their product photography is horrible, their headshots are horrible. Like that's a whole business. Literally spend 8 hours a week on LinkedIn just hunting and looking for fouls and fails with executions, like bad headshots, bad ideas, bad weds. And you're just like, ugh, and just make a folder and just start sending emails out like, oh my God, your headshot's so bad. Please let me help you. If you get an email like that, whoo, I mean, don't be so like cold, you know what I mean? But be funny. Seriously, be funny. Be like, oh my God, when was the last time you updated your headshot? You know what I mean? It looks like you're wearing like shoulder pads from 1985. Like, what's going on? You have gray hair now. Like literally, your headshot's from 60 years ago. So yeah, that's how you do it. I hope that helps. So Miss Jennifer wants to know, So calligraphy, send me a link and I'll actually do it. I'm so sorry that I haven't already. And I kind of thought that I was already. Calligraphy, put a link right now in chat if you're allowed. And I will do it right now. I promise you. That's my bad that I haven't already. And it's funny. I'm like, how come don't see this guy's posts? Calligraphy is asking how come I'm not subscribed to his newsletter? And the reason is I say, if you make a newsletter and you write 4 weeks in a row, I'll subscribe to you. And Calligraphy's been doing it for like 12 weeks in a row and I haven't subscribed to him yet. So my bad. I literally I missed it. So send me the link and I'll subscribe today. Miss Jennifer is asking, do photographs get lifetime royalties as long as your photographs are still being used? It doesn't work like that. It's not like the film industry where, oh, my photograph's out in the world and I just go to the mailbox and you just keep getting checks. It's not how it works. Like, you negotiate that in the contract, just exactly how Manuel was saying. You negotiate it in the contract. So I negotiate usage in the contract and I get paid for it up front. Okay? I get paid for it up front. And if they're buying lifetime usage, they pay me in order for that usage to be released. So you're not getting little drips of money. You just get a one-time sum, and then they basically now co-share the copyright. You own the copyright, but they have the licensing. So they can do whatever they want with it because you sold it to them for as long as it says in the contract. Now, if you have a contract with somebody for 3 years to use a photo, and then after the 3 years, they still want to use it, you set an alarm, put it in your calendar 3 years later, and it's like from the date that they sign the contract, you get an alert. Hey, 3 years later. Then you send an email. Hey, just FYI, our contract is up on that photo that you signed the deal on 3 years ago. Are you still using it? Are you still wanting to use it? And if they're like, oh my God, yes, I need it, then you'd be like, okay, let's renegotiate the next 3 to 5 or 10 years. Do you want to just buy it? You know what I mean? You want to just buy the rights to it? So it gives you power, but you have to police it. You have to chase these people down. They're not going to be chasing you to give you money. You actually have to find them, and you got to keep a record of it. So keep a record of the contracts you signed and keep a record of the dates that you signed them. And if you have a 5-year usage, you can go 20 years ahead in your calendar, eh? Just go 5 years ahead to that date. Boom. This contract expires. Simple. So yeah. And also, advice to give rights to use for promotional material and not full usage. Yeah, I mean, again, it's like, it depends on the thing. Because believe me, man, when I shot the Porter this year, I did all the retouching. But I knew that it was not going to be what I shot. I knew it was going to be completely different than the artwork that I shot. So you see what they did with it, but this is what I shot. So I gave them clean white that they could knock out because I knew it was going to be a composite. So, yeah. So it's like knowing that this is what the posters were going to look like. So all of my artwork is just simple, clean, white, no crazy hard shadows, super easy reflections. Let's go. Churches, nature scenes. Thanks for becoming a subscriber, my guy. Thank you. Welcome. So, yeah, insane. So more questions for me? I can't believe I've been going for this long. I didn't even think that I passed the 7 o'clock mark. Yeah, of course. I was in the pre-production and I had an art director. Bro, this job was 3 different companies in 3 different countries. Canadian company, American company in Germany that was doing the artwork, or in the UK. There was 3 or 4 countries. And when I did this shoot, it was in COVID, during COVID. and I zoomed everybody in. Like I zoomed like 5 or 6 different people in from all over the world so they could watch while the shoot was happening. So yeah, it's like crazy, but yeah. Yeah. Henry, how did I miss your question? So you're hired for an event to walk around and shoot portraits. How can I quickly engage folks to make good pics but also move along fast? Super simple. Number one, you have one spot that you shoot. Like it depends if you're doing a like walk it, like you have to be moving around, or can you set up a booth? Because my vibe is you set up a booth and you create spectacle. You set up a studio flash, a seamless background, a tripod, a tether station, and then you make a spectacle. So people want to be photographed by you because they're getting a studio picture that looks like this that you're doing at an event. So it's like everybody's event pictures just look like event pictures with people in the background and people like, who cares? You want to do something high frequency, create a studio in the event. That's how you do it. Like, that's just my 2 cents. And then now, like, how you engage them is you lead with a compliment. Simple. Oh my God, your shoes are amazing. Oh my God, I love your hair. Oh my God, your outfit. Oh my God, girl, look at those nails. Whoo, look at the suit on that guy. Yo, guy, where'd you get those sunglasses? Dude, look at, like, just lead with a compliment. Just pick on every person, pick something, and just be like, yo, love that. Come here, let me take your photo. Simple. I love your sunglasses. Let me take your photo. I love your outfit. Let me take your photo. I love your dress. Let me take your photo. I love your hair. Let me take your photo. Oh my God, your eyes are so beautiful. Let me take your photo. Simple. That's how you do it. Sorry, your question kept getting, and don't worry, you weren't spamming because I literally couldn't find it. So it's all good. But yeah, just see if you can set up a booth instead of walking around. If you must walk around, like, shoot people against walls rather than shooting people against the space. Shooting people in the space lets the flash just fly into nothingness. It just looks like a black room. Try to put people like up against walls or like a wall. Like, it just looks way more Studio 54. I don't know. That's what I think. What did I miss? So if you have a booth, oh my goodness, Henry, MacBook, tether, tripod, studio lights. Oh my goodness, man, you can create a fiasco. And if you really want to go crazy, you love my beard? Thanks, bro. You want to really create a fiasco? Get an Apple TV like I have right here. Get an Apple TV, and then you can literally connect your computer to the Apple TV wirelessly, create that as a second monitor, like literally create that as a second monitor. Just like right now, I can kick this, which is what I'm doing. I'm kicking this monitor over there. So now, look, I'm going to take my screen and put my screen over there. And I'm doing this wirelessly. So now my screen is over here. So imagine if I was shooting and tethering and I had a MacBook and an Apple TV, I could now send my photos to a huge monitor. And now everybody can see what I'm doing. Just FYI, I'm giving you the secrets. When I do that kind of stuff or when I'm shooting in the studio, this is how I make my shoots like a fiasco, my guy. So that's secret time. That's how you like literally turn your simple photo shoots into something that is just insanity. You know what I mean? And it just goes back to being an Apple TV. So yeah, Apple TV is like, it's so clutch. I just have it, it's just like stuck to the back of this monitor. That is top. Heavy. Stay there, baby. That's one of the stands that's not on wheels in this house. But yeah, I use that when I'm in the studio. When I'm shooting in the studio, I just grab that monitor. I have a monitor that connects to a stand. Sick. Anyways, yeah, a little behind the scenes there. So before I wrap up, I just want to make sure that I'm answering everybody's questions and hails. Did anybody have any questions that I didn't touch on? A huge Adobe announcement for Sony shooters. Lightroom now supporting tethering for Sony shooters. That's huge, and it's one step closer for Sony being pro gear. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have a system that doesn't support tethering. Like, how can you call yourself pro shit if you're not able to tether your camera to your laptop? And again, it's seamless for me. I have on every one of my machines, I have this EOS utility, and you see right here, EOS utility. You just pop it open, and then it opens just like this, and it says right away, what do you want me to do? Download pictures to the computer, remote shooting, or do you want to change your camera settings? Right, it's ready right now. As soon as I plug in my camera, this automatically opens and it starts a tether session. So yeah, it's just, anyways, like, I'm not like knocking any brands. This is not what this is about, but the ease of use for your brand is a big part of why you choose it. So you just scored, IB says, I just scored a stack of random Apple TVs from a box that I wanted the camera out of. Yes, Apple TVs are so, like, I have 2 of them and I'm about to buy another one because, like, they're so beneficial, man. You can use them in, like, it's how you send an HD signal wirelessly, like, across the room. It's so amazing. You're watching something on your phone, you just flick it to the TV. Now it's playing on the TV with all the audio, but it's off your phone. Like, it's amazing. So yeah, there's big uses for Apple TVs. I love them. And I've been using Apple TVs since they came out, like since generation 2, I guess. So yeah, for a studio or an office like this, like, yeah, it's super, super necessary to have one, I think. I think they're an amazing piece of tech, especially if you have an Apple ecosystem like I do. I have an all Apple ecosystem. So yeah. Last question, guys. Any place to get contract samples? Yes. Indie. Seriously. Like, for the low price of $7 a month, go to Indie, and they have ready-made, pre-built contracts that all you need to do is plug in what you need, plug in your information. There is contract templates, invoice templates, email templates, proposal templates. Like, literally, there's so many different like tools built in here. This is why I signed on and took them on as a sponsor, like, because I got asked so often. These are legal, ready-made contracts, legal, ready-to-use proposals, and, like, look at the price. Pay for a year, it's $585 a month. Pay monthly, you're paying $2 more for the privilege of paying monthly, and it's a no-brainer. I was going to build out my own contract templates and just sell them, and it's like, nah, I just signed on with these guys. They're just doing it better. So use Indie. So there you go. That's if you've got questions. King Missouri. Sony, I don't know anything about Sony's A7R3, a good entry-level camera for weddings. I have lots of Sony shooters who watch. Somebody in chat's going to tell you, oh my God, there's so many people who shoot with this camera who watch me. So many people who shoot with that camera that watch me. So I'd say, yeah, for sure. Make sure you guys are in the Discord. That's where we hang out before and after this show. I have the largest growing community of photographers who are trying to be pros, all gathering in one place. They all hang out daily. They share stories. They share work. And the thing is the pain points and the like, oh my God, I'm in a situation. What should I do? And there's like 15 different people giving their opinions and their answers. And then I come in and I'm like, I think you should do this. And then they decide what they're going to do. So the Discord is probably one of the smartest things I've ever done. I'm starting a pro group. I'm looking for 50 photographers that are like obsessed about getting to the next level. I'm trying to help 50 photographers make $100,000 with their camera. It's a very obscene goal, but that is what I'm trying to do. Today's ad-free, commercial-free episode is brought to you by, number one, the members of this channel. The members of this channel. I literally couldn't do anything without the members of this channel. I'm pushing 250 of you who literally have your photos reviewed. You pay to be Carty crew. You pay to talk to me and chat and glitch me and do all this stuff. And support. And believe me, the support is felt and appreciated. So if you want to become a member, it's super simple. Hit the join button, join the Discord, connect your Discord and your YouTube channel, hit the submission level so you can actually submit photos. Because what you need is a feedback loop. You need an instant feedback loop. What I can help you with in 10 minutes, it could take you up to a year to figure out on your own, just by watching YouTube videos and trying to look at your shots and trying to figure out on your own what you're doing wrong, where I could literally help you in 10 minutes. And time's valuable. So for me, I'm in my 50s, yo. So time's valuable. I'm 53. I'm about to be 54. So time's short, and I'm into maximizing my time. If I learn something, I'm teaching you this, like what I just learned, the next week on this channel. If I come up with something revolutionary, I'm teaching it to you literally the next week. So that's how I do. Guys, I hope today brought you value. Again, consider becoming a member. That is the best way to prove that you're committed to becoming a pro. I mean, again, there's all kinds of ways that you can prove, but you're not proving it to me, you're proving it to yourself. And I have all kinds of free ways that you can learn how to be a photographer. Number one, become on one of the people on my newsletter. Join the Life Behind the Camera. All you need to do is just put in your email. I send you an email every Saturday. I write an email and send it out. And yeah, that's a Life Behind the Camera blog. It's on Substack. It's started with 8 people. I'm now almost at 1,600. So people are liking it. And my growth is like, so I apparently am a bit of a writer. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope today brought you value. We have an assignment that is happening, an open assignment where I'm asking you to do one thing, which is make a photo this week. Make a photo within the calendar week of between last week, Thursday, and tomorrow. Because the cutoff point is tomorrow midnight. Wednesday midnight is when we cut the submission folder, so you can no longer submit. I look at photos for review. I give a very tight brief. This is the first week in a very long while that I haven't given a very tight brief. I gave a very loose brief. And the brief was this: make a new photo. Make a photo within your niche, shoot it horizontally or vertically, and that is all. If you are taking a picture, that is not what we're trying to do. I'm trying to get you to execute an idea. And the delivery is via Discord by Wednesday midnight Eastern time. I look at them Thursdays at 6 p.m. I do that every week. This week we have another great assignment I'm excited to give to you. Guys, today brought you any value, please make clips of something that was funny or interesting or anything like that. Share it to your social network. The clips that get the most attention actually appear on the homepage of my channel. So youtube.com/Steve Carty. You can see your clips if you're making them. And also share me to your social network. Sharing is caring. If you're a subscriber or a member, you're going to see your name scrolling across the top of the screen, or it just did. I can hold the last 25. It's all I can type in manually before each show. I type in these manually. So Church's Nature Scenes, From the Sidelines, and Shin, Enadina, Roberto, all of you new subscribers, I see you. Thank you for being here. And the OG crew, the members of this channel, you're scrolling across the top. Thanks all for being here. Appreciate you all.